Great Scott! Adam Scott here, and today we're talking about 3D Game Heroes. 3D Game Heroes is an action role-playing game developed by Silicon Studios and exclusive for the PS3. As the hero, you set out on a quest to rid the Dotnia Kingdom of a dark plague caused by the forces of evil to restore peace to the land. Your grandfather once rose up against the Dark King Onyx with his legendary sword and the power of magical orbs to seal Onyx away. However, the forces of evil are back again as the Dark Bishop stole the orb and threw the kingdom of Dotnia into a state of chaos once more. Your bloodline is destined to save the world, and thus, you're responsible for retrieving the 6 magical orbs and returning the land to peace once more. The kingdom was once a 2D pixelated world, but as the king of the land felt that sprites were outdated, he thus decreed for the kingdom to make the switch to 3D. This caused the entire world to become 3D while still retaining its original pixelated look. The game is completely self-aware with numerous references and inside jokes. It's so upfront about its inspirations that it skirts the line between homage and straight-up theft. The gameplay is unabashedly inspired by action role-playing games of the 3rd and 4th console generations, such as Dragon Warrior and quite explicitly, The Legend of Zelda. You move from screen to screen, navigating an overworld, taking out spawning enemies, and discovering dungeons in order to collect magic orbs. The dungeons are full of puzzles, traps, and bosses, and brand new equipment that can help players find new areas on the world map. Additionally, throughout your journey, you'll collect special items such as boomerangs, candles, and bows that can be used for combat, exploration, and puzzles. You'll even get a hookshot that works exactly like in Zelda. You'll continue to add health and magic as you progress to take on even tougher challenges. Sounds familiar, huh? One thing that is unique to 3D Game Heroes is the assortment of unique swords that can be found during the course of the adventure. While the swords boast different looks, stats, and abilities, they all have one thing in common. When the player is at full health, they are just awesome. Using the blacksmith to level these swords up, they can almost cover the entire screen, obliterating any enemies unfortunate enough to get in their way. Weapons can be widened, lengthened, and given unique powers depending on their type. The swords are just a straight-up blast. While it may seem overpowered, and yes, at full health it is, but when you get even the smallest hit, the sword is reduced to a tiny weak shadow of its former self. In this diminished form, it's much easier for enemies to get close enough to land their attacks. The visuals are a real standout and still look fantastic today. The game uses voxel graphics in a 3D environment that emulates the 2D environments of those earlier inspirations. There are amazing lighting and particle effects. Even with such a simple game, there will be times when you stop to just admire the view. One thing this game does way better than it has any right to is the character creator. It may be one of the best ever made. No, seriously. You can literally make your character look like anything. Want to adventure as Link or even Mario? What about a hulking tank? Yeah, you can do all of that. You can either customize an existing character or create one from scratch. It's similar to building in Legos. Whatever you can dream up, you can make. Okay, let's break it down. This game is a charming homage to old school action RPGs. It is a visual treat from beginning to end, with great humor throughout and with that classic action RPG gameplay. On the negative side, it is punishingly difficult at times. And for many of the jokes and the references to land, you really need to have that nostalgia for those classic action RPGs. 3D Game Heroes is such a joy throughout. It's a real shame that it's stuck on the PS3. Now, if you happen to have a PS3 and you've got that nostalgic itch for those classic action RPGs, there's no better way to scratch it than with 3D Game Heroes. Alright, until next time.